includes law enforcement from the state of New York and Texas. The service, which started a bit late here, roughly 20 minutes ago, it is closed to the public. It is scheduled to conclude sometime around 1 p.m. We're live this morning in Ontario. Mark Cutter-Robles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Mark, thank you. And if you'd like to watch the rest of the memorial for Sergeant Michael Paredes and Officer Joseph Santana, we're streaming it on our website, abc7.com, and all of our streaming platforms. Moving now to Supreme Court news and a ruling that has implications for hundreds of thousands of immigrants. The High Court ruling the Biden administration can end the Trump Remain in Mexico policy. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has more.
A Supreme Court victory for President Biden. In a 5-4 opinion, the High Court gave the White House the green light to end the controversial Remain in Mexico immigration policy that originated under the Trump administration. Conservative Justice Kavanaugh joining with the liberal judges in the deciding vote. The court says federal law does not require the administration to send migrants it doesn't detain back to Mexico to await U.S. hearings on their asylum claims. The Supreme Court also saying the way the White House moved to end the policy last year did not violate the Administrative Procedures Act. The ruling comes a day after 4 men were charged in a migrant smuggling incident that took the lives of 53 people who were trapped in the sweltering heat of a tractor trailer in Texas. The suspected truck driver, 45-year-old Homero Zamorano, could face the death penalty if convicted. Texas Governor Greg Abbott laying blame for the truck incident squarely on White House border policies.
It is the deadliest migrant smuggling incident on U.S. soil, and it's on President Biden's watch.
Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas attempted to cancel the Remain in Mexico policy last summer, leading Texas and Missouri to sue the administration. The states argued that canceling the policy would force states to use their own resources on processing immigrants, and a court ordered the protocols reinstated. But the Department of Homeland Security said those migrant protections protocols were not an effective way to deal with asylum seekers, saying they were being exposed to violence and had little access to legal counsel. Since Biden took office, roughly 180,000 migrants have been arrested at the border, less than the 40,000 per month during the latter part of the Trump administration. In New York, Alexis Christoforous, ABC News.
Meantime, in a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court is sharply curtailing the Environmental Protection Agency's ability to regulate carbon emissions from existing power plants. The ruling comes as the White House has been pushing for businesses to adopt cleaner energy, and at a time when scientists are sounding the alarm on the accelerating pace of climate change. Oddly, some power companies sided with the EPA in the case, and industry trade groups said that stripping the EPA of its authority could open power companies up to constant litigation. Meanwhile, Ketanji Brown Jackson has officially been sworn in as the Supreme Court's first black woman justice. Once a clerk to now retired Associate Justice Stephen Breyer, Jackson is succeeding him. The hugely historic moment caps a divisive term for the highest court in the land.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear.
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Justice Jackson's husband, Dr. Patrick Jackson, held 2 Bibles, a family Bible and the Harlan Bible, at the swearing-in ceremony. All other active justices attended, as did just retired Justices Breyer and Kennedy. And now to our local weather. We've got Tony Cabrera standing by. It's been a hot week, and hopefully the cool down Dallas has been talking about will actually happen.
Oh, yeah, and it's already happening. We already noticed a couple of degrees cooler today than yesterday about this time, so That is definitely the good news as we're heading to 4th of July weekend. Looking live over Riverside, 84 degrees. It's going to be warm out in the IE, but not dealing with those triple digits or even close to it like we saw those last days. Looking over the beach now, sunshine is starting to come on out, 74 degrees. We had